The first thing I saw was a kitchen timer. Red digits, 2 hands in frame, a voice typed over it, 10 minutes. I'm not backing out. Thread filled with clowns. People spam, do it, pics, huff fake. A couple begged him to stop. One anon posted a hotline like that fixes anything. OP dropped coordinates like a breadcrumb. Then a photo, a basement door with a strip of light under it, like someone was downstairs breathing. I stared at that strip of light until my eyes burned. I kept refreshing like a junkie. 7 minutes. 6. Opie didn't argue. He didn't reassure anyone. He just fed the timer and the room like he was feeding a dog. People started fighting under him, not even about saving him, but about who got to be right. Fake. Real. Stop doxing. Do it already. Somebody called the people begging soft and got cheered. Somebody else dropped my county name and wrote local. Go check. Another account posted call 911 then, pussy, like acting was a dare. I typed don't and deleted it. I typed I'm calling cops and deleted that too, because the thread punished anyone who tried to move. Then Opie posted the next image. Plastic tarp taped to concrete, a utility sink, and a phone propped on a detergent bottle like a tiny tripod. That snapped something in me. That setup didn't look like a prank. It looked prepared. The timer reflection still showed the thread. Live. Same clowns. Same cheering. I grabbed my keys and drove because sitting there felt like watching a drowning and debating whether water was wet. I kept refreshing at red lights, swearing at anyone who honked. The timer kept shrinking. For minutes. 3. Opie posted nothing else. The comment section turned into a pit. People dared him harder. Others begged harder. 2 accounts argued for 20 straight replies about attention while the clock ran. Someone spammed laughing emojis like they were trying to drown out guilt. I pulled up to the address and found a house dark as shit. No cars. Snow untouched on the steps. No tracks, no salt, nothing. It looked like a place that hadn't needed a human in weeks. My headlights hit the porch and the windows, and everything stayed black. I sat there a second, fingers locked around my phone, and watched strangers type update like they were waiting for pizza. I got out. The cold slapped me awake. I walked up the steps and knocked hard. Nothing. I knocked again and heard something inside. Fast went wrong. Like slipping feet, like hands scraping tile, like breath choking behind a wall. I called out once, then swallowed it because it sounded stupid in the quiet. I tried the knob. Locked. I called 911 and talked over my own shaking. Online post, timer, address, possible self-harm, possible violence. I'm outside right now. The dispatcher asked if I saw anyone. I said no, but I heard movement and a damn timer. She asked me to confirm the address. I stared at the mailbox numbers like I was in a nightmare quiz and confirmed it. She told me to step back and wait. I said okay, but my feet stayed on the porch because the noise started again. It stopped, then started, then I caught a faint, muffled beep-beep like a kitchen timer under blankets. I lost it. I slammed my shoulder into the door. Pain shot down my arm. The frame didn't give. I hit it again and tasted blood where my teeth clicked. I kicked near the latch like a movie idiot and the door just laughed at me. I backed off, gasping, and checked the thread with my thumb. People were posting street view screenshots of the house like it was a scavenger hunt. One person wrote, "He's doing it right now." Another wrote, "Prove it." Someone dropped a cropped picture of my porch with my shadow on it, from the OP's last upload, and typed IRL confirmed. My stomach flipped. Sirens finally cut through. 2 cops rolled up, lights bouncing off the snow. I waved them over, talking too fast, shoving my phone toward them. One of them frowned like I'd handed him a used tissue. "Internet shit," he muttered. That set me off. I snapped back that I heard a timer. I heard movement, and if he wanted to gamble with a stranger's life, he could do it without my tax dollars. He stared at me like I was the problem. Then he heard the faint beep too. His face changed. Not panic. Focus. They banged on the door and yelled. No answer. They circled the house with flashlights, boots crunching. A neighbor across the street stepped out and started yelling about the noise. One cop barked at him to go inside. The neighbor barked back that this was a quiet street. The cop threatened to arrest him for interfering, and the neighbor finally shut up, but he stayed on his porch watching like it was a show. One cop found a basement window half covered from inside with taped plastic. He swore and called it in. They moved to the back. I heard a loud crack, then another, then the ugly thud of a door giving up. Shouts, heavy steps, a crash like a chair getting kicked, then a sound I won't dress up, a strangled, raw yelp that cut off fast like someone bit down on it. My stomach turned. That wasn't an actor. Then they dragged the guy out. Socks, thin hoodie, bare wrists, face blank like he'd already left his body. His socks were wet. Not snow wet, dark wet. One cop kept his arm pinned. Another kept looking back into the house like he expected something to come up the stairs behind him. When the door opened again for a second, a breath of air rolled out that smelled like bleach and metal and damp concrete. It hit my throat and made me gag. I tried to ask what happened, but the cops talked over me. They asked why I came, what site, what username, did I touch anything, did I break anything. Their suspicion hit hard, like I'd done something wrong by not scrolling past. I held up my shoulder and said I tried the door. The shorter one said, "Sharp, don't do that again," like I was a child. I told him to shut the fuck up and do his job. He stepped toward me, angry, hand on his cuffs. Then the taller one cut in and told him to leave it. EMS rolled in and the shorter cop turned away, but not before he shot me. This looked like he wanted to pin the whole night on me. EMS rushed in. I watched them wheel a stretcher to the door. I tried to see what they were bringing out. The cops blocked my view. I caught a glimpse of plastic tarp being carried like a dirty sheet, and my stomach dropped. No one explained. No one needed to. The guy in socks still didn't react. He looked bored, like he'd already watched the ending. I checked the thread again because I hated myself and because I needed to know if the timer hit 0. People weren't even talking about the house anymore. They were talking about me. Someone posted a screenshot of my car in the driveway and wrote, "New op just dropped." Others argued if I was fake, a cop, a hero, a clout chaser. One person zoomed in on my plate and guessed wrong, then another guessed closer. Someone posted my first name, wrong, but close enough to make my chest tighten. My phone lit up with DMs. "What did you see? Post pics. You're lying. Go back inside. Kill yourself." It wasn't even one mood. It was a crowd spinning in different directions, all of them ugly. The cops told me to leave and not post. Like that mattered. I drove home with one hand, shoulder screaming, phone face down like it was infected. When I got inside my apartment, I locked the door twice and sat on the floor because my legs wouldn't hold. Every click in my place sounded like footsteps. Every beep sounded like that muffled kitchen timer. I stared at the bruise swelling under my shirt and thought about going to urgent care, then pictured some asshole in the waiting room recognizing my car from a screenshot and turning my face into the next meme. I stayed home. In the morning, the thread was gone from the main board. Mirrors popped up anyway. People reposted the pictures, argued about crisis actors, and turned the tarp into a joke. Someone clipped the siren audio and looped it over dance music. Someone drew arrows on the basement door like they were explaining a magic trick. A random account tagged me in a new post with my car photo and wrote, "He lives here," with a zip code guess that was almost right. My stomach dropped so hard I thought I'd pass out. I changed my usernames. I scrubbed old comments. I turned off notifications like that would stop anything. A cop called later and left a voicemail asking for a statement. I didn't call back. I couldn't. I kept thinking about that blank face and those wet socks and the bleach stink and the way the neighbor watched with his arms folded and the way the thread cheered like a stadium. I realized the worst part wasn't the house. It was the crowd. The house was just a place. The crowd was everywhere, in my pocket, in my hand, in my head. I deleted my posts. The archive stayed. The timer kept ticking in my head for weeks. I typed it out on B like it was a grocery list because that's what it felt like. Buy this, break that smile. My fingers didn't even hesitate. I wasn't shaking. I wasn't drunk. I was just up too late, lit by my monitor, scrolling until everything looked the same and nothing felt real. Her face kept popping up in my head, that bright little profile pic she used everywhere like it could keep the world out. Earlier that day, she'd posted one of those smug, protect your peace things, the kind people clap for because it's easier than thinking. It wasn't even about me. I didn't know her. That was the point. I was bored as fuck, and boredom makes you mean when you don't have anything else to hold on to. I didn't need to stalk her with a knife. I stalked her with attention. I made new accounts, hit her comments, liked old photos, then vanished. I let her imagination do the cutting. I did it in bursts like tapping a bruise. 3 likes on something from years ago, then silence. A reply that looked normal enough to slide past reports. Then I delete the account and watch the comment turn into a phantom. No threats, no slurs, nothing she could screenshot and hand to a cop like proof. Just the feeling of a hand on the back of her neck. The first time she reacted, my skin prickled. She posted a vague thing about weird notifications and someone camping my page. People laughed and told her it was the algorithm. Others told her she was dramatic. A couple guys did that gross thing where they flirt by mocking, like fear is foreplay. And she played along at first because she didn't want to look weak in front of strangers. That's what I wanted. If everyone around you says you're imagining it, you start apologizing for being scared. You start editing your own fear until you can't tell what's real. When she blocked one profile, I used another. When she locked her pages, I found her friends. I never threatened. I just showed up everywhere until her life started to feel rented. She tightened settings like she could squeeze me out, then loosen them again because her whole life was built on being seen. She'd post, taking a break, and then pop back up 2 days later with a selfie and a caption that tried too hard to sound carefree. Every time she resurfaced, I was there again, like a smell that comes back the second you crack a window. Her friends try to play hero at first. They'd comment about some loser and don't feed trolls, like that's a spell. One of them posted a screenshot of my burner and told people to mass report. I made more accounts and liked that screenshot from each one by one, so it looked like a crowd. She saw it. She deleted the post like it burned her hand. After that, the friend group started eating itself. You could see it in the way they wrote. Somebody blamed her for oversharing. Somebody blamed the friend for poking the bear. Somebody acted offended she wasn't replying fast enough, like she owed them updates on her own panic. Watching them fight was almost better than watching her because it meant the rot spread. Anons told me I was based. A few called me a piece of shit. I laughed at both. The thread turned into the usual moral bar fight. Guys cheering, guys grandstanding, guys asking for updates like it was a TV show. A couple of Anons tried to scare me with talk about cops and mail laws and cameras. Other Anons called them pussies. It was all noise, and noise is cover, and I hid in it like a fucking coward. I didn't want to be famous. I wanted to be constant. I wanted to be the thing she checked for even when she told herself she wouldn't. Then I got bored of the soft stuff. I wanted a consequence that didn't stop when she closed an app. I got her fired without touching her job. I dug up a dumb screenshot from years ago and tossed it into a local gossip group. I watched it spread like rot. It wasn't even some monstrous confession. It was her, younger, trying too hard, making an ugly joke. Everybody has one. That's why it works. Nobody defends you when the accusation sounds familiar enough to imagine you doing it too. People who'd never met her talked like they'd raised her. Someone tagged her employer because the internet always goes for the throat. Someone else made a little timeline collage with her face, her handle, a workplace logo, arrows, red circles, like they were solving a crime. Her boss didn't need evidence. Bosses don't want evidence. They want the noise to stop. She went live with her face blotchy and wet, tried to explain context, like context has ever saved anyone once the pylon starts. She cried online, deleted everything, came back, cried again. She kept doing that thing where you wipe your cheeks and pretend you're fixing your makeup. Like if you look presentable enough, people will treat you like a person. The best part was how polite she tried to be at first. She kept asking, "Who are you?" like I owed her a face. She wrote it under posts, in those little Q&A boxes, in DMs to accounts that weren't even mine anymore. It wasn't anger at first. It was customer service panic. "Please identify yourself so I can make you stop." When she couldn't get a name, her tone changed. She started posting about documentation, about reports, about law enforcement. The words looked strong, but the way she used them sounded like she was trying to convince herself she had control. She bought a doorbell cam and posted it like it was a weapon. She showed pepper spray on her keyring and called it "my little friend" with this tight smile that didn't reach her eyes. Her followers sent hearts and advice that didn't fit together. Her haters told her she deserved it and that she should log off. Her comment section turned into a fight pit. People argued about whether she was lying, whether she was playing victim, whether it was just trolls. She started deleting comments by the handful, then apologized for deleting, then deleted the apology. You could watch her get smaller in real time. Not physically, just in the way she moved, the way she typed, the way she started posting from inside cars with the doors locked. One night, she posted a picture from her kitchen, hands shaking, trying to prove she wasn't scared. I recognized the brand of takeout bag, the corner store logo, the street sign reflection in the microwave. She wrote something about being unbothered, but her hands still blurred because she couldn't hold the phone steady. Seeing her try to act tough made me feel colder, not guilty. Like her bravery was just another thing I could take. I didn't post her address. I didn't need to. I just mailed her a cheap keychain from that corner store, still smelling like cigarettes, with no note. Cash purchase, quick drop, nothing dramatic, just enough to shove my presence into her hands. The day she got it, her whole online persona cracked. She posted the keychain, then deleted it, then reposted it blurred, then deleted again. She couldn't decide if showing it would help or make it worse. Her friends started blaming each other again, accusing the ex, accusing the coworker, accusing the one who lived closest, accusing her own followers. She started accusing random people in DMs. She posted screenshots of supportive messages that were really just strangers telling her what to do with her life. She stopped going live. Then she went live once, late, with the lights off behind her, and you could hear the tremor in her breath even when she tried to joke. In the thread, Anons argued harder. Some said it was fake. Some wanted proof. Some wanted me to escalate. A couple of them suddenly grew a conscience and wrote paragraphs about lines. I kept reading, eating chips, watching my own little infection spread. I didn't have to do much. Other people did it for me. She moved a month later. I watched it happen in scraps. A post about new beginnings with no location tag, boxes stacked behind a mirror selfie, a friend mentioning helping her pack. Then her old place went quiet online, like a dead profile you forgot to delete. I never saw the new place. She got smarter, or she got tired, or she got broken. All three looked the same from the outside. I kept checking anyway, like a reflex. I kept refreshing a page that wouldn't give me what I wanted. I told myself I'd pick a new target, like changing channels. I told myself this was just the internet and nobody really gets hurt. Then I'd remember her shaking hand in that kitchen photo and the way she kept asking who I was, like a name could put the world back in order. It didn't make me stop. It just made me feel this flat, ugly emptiness that I couldn't admit to anyone, because normal people don't confess they enjoyed turning somebody's life into a locked door. I stayed in the thread and watched Anons argue whether I was trolling. I wasn't. I was bored. A thread popped up on Poll with a dumb title like Tomorrow's Show, and the Opie wrote like he was leaking movie spoilers. He posted a transit map with one station circled. No manifesto, no grand speech, just timing. That was the part that made it feel real. I'm gonna not watch me, just a dot on a map like a calendar invite you can't decline. Replies split fast. Jokes, hype, fed, schizo, and a few people yelling to report it. Same old swarm. Half the thread treated it like a trailer drop. The other half tried to out-edgy each other. Anyone sounding concerned got called a rat and a bitch, like caring is the crime. Opie didn't argue. He just fed them. He posted a photo of a backpack on a table next to a receipt with the date visible. The bag looked normal as hell, the kind you see on every platform, which made my stomach turn. The receipt was crisp, placed like evidence, date lined up with tomorrow. Then he posted a short clip, someone's hands taping something shut while a radio played in the background. You couldn't see what was inside, just the tape pulled tight, slapped down, the quick rip. The radio was some morning talk show, cheerful voices over that ugly little sound. My throat closed up because I rode that line every week. That circled station was mine. Same escalator that jerks, same pissy hallway, same dead corner where people dump fast food bags and somebody always sleeps. I sat there refreshing, trying to talk myself into its bait, but the receipt and the clip kept dragging me back. It looked staged for an audience. It looked practiced. I hit report links. Half of them bounced. The other half asked me to log in, verify emails, solve CAPTCHAs, like I had time for bureaucracy while someone was pointing at my commute. So I called a non-emergency number. First call, I tried to sound normal. There's a post online, it's targeting a station tomorrow. There's a bag, there's video. The dispatcher asked if I'd actually seen a bag at the station. I said no, because it wasn't morning yet. She sighed and told me they get internet bullshit all day and I should call 911 if I see something in person. I sat there with my heart rattling and this hot anger in my teeth. My brain replayed every after-the-fact press conference where officials say, if you see something, say something. I had said something. I just said it too early, I guess. I stare at my call log and then at that circled dot on the map, and I hated how clean it all was. Opie gets attention, we get fear, and the system shrugs. So I called again. I slowed down. I used the phrases people take seriously. I said credible threat. I said specific target. I said tomorrow morning. I said there was photo and video and a transit map. The guy this time took my full name and number. That should have reassured me, but it didn't. He asked where I found it, if I was in that community, if I'd shared it. I snapped and told him I'm just a commuter and I'm trying to keep people from getting hurt. He got stiff and told me not to engage with the post and that they'd note the information, like he was filing a complaint about loud music. I didn't sleep. I kept waking up and checking my phone like a sick habit. The thread kept growing. People started doing countdown posts and maintenance incoming jokes like shutting a station down will be the funniest thing they'd ever done. A few users tried to shut it down, yelling to report it and stop boosting it. The thread ate those guys alive, called them feds, told them to kill themselves. Not even because they were wrong, just because the crowd wanted chew toy. The next morning, the station was maintenance on the transit app. In real life, it was barricades and cops and pissed-off commuters. I showed up out of reflex and got shoved into a crowd outside the entrance. A guy in a suit barked at an officer about being late. A woman screamed that she had a kid to drop off. Someone filmed the cops like it was content. The officer kept repeating the same line, public safety, alternate routes, while the crowd acted like he personally ruined their lives. I tried to tell the suit guy why this might be happening, and he turned on me, eyes narrow, like I was the reason he was stuck. He said, "So some asshole online posts a backpack and we all suffer?" I said, "Yeah, because the alternative is blood on the tiles." He muttered, "Fucking paranoid," and shoved past me. It wasn't even a real fight, just two strangers colliding, but it felt like the whole situation in one sentence. Do the right thing and you still get spit on. Online, polls celebrated like they'd won a sport. People posted pictures of the barricades within minutes. We did it. Showtime. Like the whole city was their toy and we were NPCs. Somebody wrote, "Normies panicking is the point," and I finally got it. Even if there was nothing in that bag, the thread already worked. It already bent real life around their joke and made 1,000 normal people furious at the wrong target. Then the local news posted a bland alert about an unattended bag and an ongoing investigation. No details, no glory. At work, nobody cared. My manager joked that I should have taken a day off. I tried to explain to a coworker how close it felt, and he shrugged and said, if it was serious, they'd say more. Like, danger only counts if it comes with a press conference. Back on 4chan, Opie returned long enough to post one sentence. Told you. I stared at it until my eyes burned. Then a reply popped up under it with my full name. Not close. Not guess. Correct. My chest went tight like someone grabbed my lungs. I hadn't posted. I hadn't bragged. I hadn't met anyone. I just made a phone call. I minimized the browser like that would erase it. I opened it again. Still there. More replies piled on fast. Rat, hero, bitch, fantasies about teaching me a lesson. Guys arguing whether I should be rewarded or punished, like my life was a poll. Then someone dropped my neighborhood. Not my exact address, but close enough that my skin went numb. Somebody else posted a screenshot from one of those people's search sites with my age wrong, but my old phone number right. I watched strangers stitch me together out of scraps like it was a craft project, like I was a thing they could assemble and take apart. My phone rang from a block number and I didn't answer. It rang long enough to make my coworkers look up. I let it die. Voicemail notification. I opened it with my thumb shaking. The voicemail was empty, but left a timestamp, right when I'd made the second call. That timestamp punched a hole in my head. It meant someone knew exactly when I called, not just that I called. It meant my credible threat call got marked, logged, and somehow walked right back into the thread like a fucking delivery. I left my desk and locked myself in a bathroom stall like a coward, staring at my call history and refreshing the thread like I could catch the moment my life turned into a toy. I called the non-emergency line again and told them my name was now tied to the report online. The guy got defensive immediately. He said they don't release caller info. He said I was speculating. I told him about the block call and the voicemail timestamp. He told me to file an online harassment report. He sounded annoyed, like I should be grateful the station didn't blow up and shut the fuck up. I went home and checked the logs twice. A block number called again later and I let it ring out. My friend texted asking if I was coming out and I lied and said I was sick. I didn't want to be in a bar with my face lit up in someone else's camera. I didn't want to ride the train and wonder if the guy standing too close was just tired or if he'd read my name like a scoreboard. The station reopened the next day. People went right back like nothing happened. I went back too, because Rent doesn't care about paranoia. But everything felt poisoned. On the platform, every person with a phone looked like a lens aimed at me. Every laugh sounded like it had my name inside it. I started taking different exits. I stopped answering unknown numbers. I stopped using my real name on delivery apps. I started checking behind me in store windows. I hate admitting that, but it's true. The fear wasn't cinematic. It was small and constant, like grit under your eyelid that never washes out. And the sickest part was how normal the internet made it feel. Like if you stick your head up and do the right thing, you deserve to get it kicked in. I understood the real trick then. The threat wasn't just a bag. It was the feeling that a crowd could watch you do the right thing and still decide you deserve to be punished for it.